Hey, real quick, 1 Samuel chapter 17, verses 38 and 39 talks about David as he's preparing to go and fight Goliath. And as he prepares to go and fight Goliath, Saul does something. He gives David his armor and all of his equipment to go to battle with Goliath. But David, when he puts it on, understands that he cannot use it because he has not tested it. He has not been able to work with this to be able to understand it fully. And so what he does is that he takes it off and he grabs his staff and he grabs his slingshot and he goes and he gets 5 smooth stones in order to fight Goliath. What does this mean for us today? So as Saul gives David his armor, David realizes that this is not something that he can go and battle in. It's going to slow him down. It's going to stop his process. It's going to keep him from being a victorious individual. There are some things that you've taken on that you have no business wearing, and yet you're still fighting every day for your life to be able to live and do the things that you're supposed to do. And you've put on something that somebody else has given you. Perhaps it's responsibility that you shouldn't have. Perhaps it's a title. Perhaps there's things that you've taken on that you should not have on in this particular season in your life. It doesn't mean that one day it won't be your responsibility, but there are many people walking around carrying the weight of something that they haven't physically, mentally, and spiritually grown to be able to handle. But what David does carry is his staff, his slingshot, and he finds 5 smooth stones, something that for most people might seem insignificant, but for him, based on what God made him to do, it was exactly what he needed. Don't let people belittle what God has given you. See, many of you with gifts and talents out there that are able to do things that other people might look at and say that's not much, but when God gets a hold of it and he uses it through you, it changes the lives of the people around you. Take what God gave you and do what he told you to do. Take what God gave you and fight your battles, and you will come out victorious every single time because you're used to it. You're accustomed to what you're carrying. Don't carry something that's not made for you. Carry what God made for you. And so as we know, this story goes on, David takes that slingshot and that stone and he slings it at this giant and it sinks into his forehead and he falls. And David goes further and he takes his sword and he cuts his head off. You can be victorious through Jesus Christ with what he gave you. Don't go looking for something extra when you only need what he gave you. God bless you.